He never had to study or take notes in high school, only pay attention in class, do his homework, and he graduated with honors. And he found that to be different in college, and it was a huge awakening for him.
For me personally, the independence, you know, balancing how much I needed to be there and guide him. That had to be the biggest struggle, challenge. You know, because there are days where he doesn't want to get up and doesn't want to go to class, you know, and it's kind of, you have to decide, you know, he's an adult. He's going to have to learn how to face real world consequences, you know, so do I let him sleep or, you know, do I make him get up? That had to be the biggest challenge that first year, that allowing him to be responsible and have his independence, but yet being there just enough to kind of nudge him.
In high school, they're so prepared to do SOLs, that you're being fed this material and you need to pass the test. In college, it's more about what do you think, and there's no right or wrong answer. They've had to actually study, and both of my kids did very well. All three of my kids did well in high school, but when they came here, they really had to learn how to study, and they had to get organized. They had to better manage their time. When you're in high school, you stay in your little clique, if it's cheerleading or sports or band or whatever. But when you get here to college, you do need to network. You need to brand yourself, sell yourself, find the other people that are like-minded, and you have to do that by talking. And so if a client didn't show up for their dental appointment, she had to go on campus and find somebody that would sit in her chair, or she had to take a zero. So there was accountability.
You can come in here and you can just be yourself, and you don't have to be afraid of anyone else or anything. You can just do you.
His biggest challenge, and he has shared this because we had some difficulty last semester with him not realizing that the college experience was completely different from high school. So high school, you know, it's a very stringent, very time managed. College, not so much. You know, you go to class for a couple hours a day and you get home, and that's when the real work begins. And I think there was this assumption that there was still a lot of reliance on what was lectured in class without taking the extra step to do what was needed at home. I think a lot of students, including my son, thinks that since you're only in class 2 or 3 hours a day, then that's all the work that you need to do, not understanding that you've got to put a lot more time in the work once you get home than you're actually spending in class.
Going into your first semester, first semester of college is always the hardest. You know, it doesn't matter if you're at a community college or if you're at a four-year university. Your first semester is, like math, English, science. Second semester is math, English, science. So your first year is hard.
Just go in there, don't be afraid of failing, just give it your all.
Making that transition from high school to college. At high school you have all of these incremental grades that let you know step by step how your performance is in that class. And on the college level, in some courses, they're not designed for that. So there are times where you're not sure how you're actually faring in that class grade-wise until close to the end of the semester. And then sometimes it's too late. So it is really important that each student formulates that relationship with the instructor so they can make sure they're understanding the material incrementally so that they're not taken by surprise when they have those 2 major tests and that's all their grade is. Even though there may be only a few major assignments, he still needs to check in with that teacher, check on Blackboard, and make sure that he's understanding the material as they go along.
And just I decided I'm not going to class today. No, I'm good. Like this is your future. Like this is why you're here. If you don't want to be here, don't come here. Don't waste the professor's time. Don't waste your peers' time. Not coming to class.